And good evening, everyone, and welcome here as we get set for chase race number 4 of the NNSCRA Almond Joy Series. We are getting set here to go dirt track racing. Yes, I know Armory Digital was supposed to be the next race on the schedule, but we don't normally have a whole lot of really good racing that goes on at Armory Digital, so I decided we're actually going to go to a different racetrack here, not only for our 4th chase race here in Almond Joy, but also tomorrow in our 4th race, the beginning of the first race of the 2nd round of the Chase of the Championship in the Hershey's Cup Series. So, yay, should be interesting. We've gone into dirt tracks before and had great races. We've been to the Springfield Mile, we've been to Eldora, and we've been to Bristol Dirt. All have brought about really exciting races, expecting no less here tonight. We are at Oswego in Oswego, New York, a track that I'm actually pretty familiar with here, and we're getting set to see what this track will bring to the table, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be a track that we'll come to in future seasons. The point stands coming to this race have kind of widened a bit after our first 3 races. Benny Watson right now is still the points leader, and he's grown his points lead to 23 points over second in the standings Mitchell Carter, John Andrews, Zachariah Hall, Nick Johnson. That is your top 5. Of course, Nick Johnson going to victory lane last week at Indy. Let's get the command and then give you the rest of your outlook of your chase points.
Drivers, start your engines!
There is the command to fire him up. It's going to be 60 laps of racing here, as you can clearly see. Carmichael Jasmine is 6th place in the standings. J Qualls 7th. Brooke Allen 8th. Jordan Lopes 9th. Connor Breton in 10th. And then Matthew Daleo and DJ Kurtis are 11th and 12th. Kurtis comes into this race 56 points out of the top position. Daleo 39 points out. So the top 11 in the standings are still separated by less than 40 points. But DJ Kurtis needs a good run here this evening to be able to get himself back in the championship pictures. Remember, it's not elimination rounds here for Almond Joy. It's whoever has the most points at the end of 10 rounds wins the championship. So we'll keep an eye on Benny Watson. He's a former winner at a dirt track that we ran here this season at Bristol Dirt. Green flag is out. We're underway at Oswego, and someone just blew up there in the middle of the pack. I think that was Ryan George in the 85. Looks like everybody was able to traverse around him safely, though. Oh, and the caution is back out. Caution is out. That did not take long at all. I don't know if it was for Ryan George or not. Oh, they're going to go 4 wide here. Daleo, Tyler Markel, and somehow they made that work. Wow, that was a close call right there as they'll all get to the line and start slowing it up here. I don't know if the caution came out because the 85 blew up or if we actually had an incident. There's Brooke Allen, Benny Watson. You can see they didn't qualify well for this race. Neither did Carmichael Jasmine. Yeah, I have a feeling that that 85 car blowing up is what brought this yellow flag out. I'm not certain. Just to be sure, we'll go back and take a look at a replay as Richard Johnson leads us under our first yellow of the evening, and a little bit of confusion right here. Oh, there's another car up there that's smoking. That is Eric Heiden in the 18. So there's 2 cars that have encountered problems here at the very start of this race. Eric Heiden in the 18 and Ryan George in the 85, both blowing up here in the beginning stages of this race. We'll settle everything out in just a minute, come back for the restart, but for now, let's look back at a replay of what brought that yellow flag out. And it was indeed Ryan George. The reason that they had to throw the caution was when Ryan George's engine expired. He not only was on the outside line, but he also had already passed the pit road entry. There you see right there, the engine expires. There's the pit road entry to the left. He's got to let everybody go by, and by the time he's let everybody go by, he does not have enough power to get back around. The car actually comes to a halt up there on the high side. So very smart decision there by NNSCRA officials, throwing the caution flag, even though, you know, it obviously, we would have loved to have seen some green flag racing to start this thing, but safety first. And with Ryan George coming to a halt, not able to get the car refired, that's what brought out the caution here for the first time tonight at Oswego. So as we're waiting for the 1 to go signal, and there it is, lights out atop the Chevy Corvette pace car. We'll go back to green on lap 8 of 60. Already 2 drivers encountering mechanical problems at the very start of this race. Eric Heiden has already taken his car behind the wall, or valve problem according to him. Ryan George never even got to the green flag, so he'll be scored in the 40th position. We don't know exactly what went amiss under the hood of that machine, but 2 drivers already at this point out of the races. Richard Johnson will lead us back to the green flag. Jonathan Rains in 2nd, Seth Cole 3rd, K Shearer 4th, and Matthew Daleo, who pulled off a very interesting 4 wide move in the first lap of this race. He'll restart in 5th, and it's Guenther, Smart, Markel, Breton, and Zoerlein. That's the top 10 as we go back green flag racing here at Oswego, and Matthew Daleo going back to work, picking up more spots. He was in the 5th spot, now looking for 4th off of K Shearer. Matthew Daleo comes into this race 11th out of the 12 chase drivers, 39 points out of the points lead. Two-time winner this season and trying to make up ground here tonight at this dirt track. K Shearer kind of caught there on the high line. Again, really racy behind them. That's for about, I think that's 9th, 10th, 11th place. Breton, Zoerlein, and Colin Denton looking low as they make some contact. Whoa, up ahead there, Cody Smart nearly getting turned off the nose of N Guenther. Oh, it's getting really, really close here at this portion. When they get 3 wide, that's when it starts to get nervous. Oh, there's J Jefferson. Jefferson's got some damage, a lot of left side and hood damage. I think we're still under green though, and we got a battle for the lead. Daleo has fought his way all the way from 5th, now up to the race lead as he will clear Richard Johnson. Matthew Daleo to the point. Look out, John Andrews coming back onto the racetrack there in the 44. Oh, look out. Yikes, they're going awfully wide through that corner now. Slipping and sliding as Seth Cole now to the inside line on Matthew Daleo looking for the race lead. Still green flag conditions so far, but we're getting really racy up here at the front. Seth Cole to the bottom, gonna try again. On Matthew Daleo, gets up, might have gotten the wall. Look out, William Brock right in front of the leaders, and the caution flag is out. Seth Cole, I think, ran into the back of William Brock, but the yellow flag is out. They were just coming to the line, and Matthew Daleo was able to avoid the 3. He comes to the line as the race leader. Richard Johnson in 2nd. Seth Cole lost a lot of spots. He crossed the line in 5th. And we're under the yellow flag once again, 2nd time here tonight. But not after some really interesting racing. Jesse Turner has just taken his car behind the wall, and DJ Kurtis is involved. So that may be it for his championship hopes this early on in the chase. It's like some damage on Angel Navarro, some damage on Jordan Lopez. Benny Watson, the points leader, may have some right side damage on his number 89 Chevrolet. Although I'm sure there's a number of drivers in this field right now that don't have damage, or that do have damage rather, but there's a very few number that don't. And William Brock did get lapped coming to that caution flag, so he's a lap down, as I believe are also John Andrews and, who was the other car? There was one other car. Oh, J Jefferson, who was actually taking his car behind the wall. Jesse Turner is now retired, and DJ Kurtis is also retired from the race as well. So let's take a look and see what happened to put us under this caution for the 2nd time here tonight. We are now about a quarter of the way through this race, and we will see now what brought out the caution and may have ended the chase hopes early of one DJ Kurtis. Well, I'm pretty certain this is what brought the caution flag out. This was at the rear of the field, too. And J Jefferson, who at the time was a lap machine, just goes up in front of Angel Navarro, and look at this, flips the 28 over onto his lid over and over again. And no, that did not bring out the caution. There you see the pace car in the background, no lights on. He had a flip, a barrel roll, and no yellow flag there for J Jefferson. But my goodness, wild ride there, and I still am shocked that we did not have a caution flag come out for that. Let's see now what happened to DJ Kurtis and Jesse Turner. Well, with the dust and dirt that gets kicked up here under the lights, it's very difficult to see. Hopefully this camera angle will give us a good idea, and you just see right here, I don't know if Turner slid up or if Lopez turned down, so that's another chase driver involved in something tonight there. The 51 of Jordan Lopez. Up into the air goes the front end of the 51 car, 39 flipping upside down, and DJ is going to be able to avoid that. So DJ Kurtis was not involved in that incident. And I think that this was actually what caused the 3 car of William Brock to be slow ahead of the leaders. He had to come to a dead stop in order to, not run into the back of Lopez and Jesse Turner. And I think that is why the leaders caught up to him so quickly, because he had to stop on the racetrack. Well, we're getting the signal 1 lap to green. Matthew Daleo out in front, Richard Johnson, K Shearer, N Guenther, Seth Cole. That is your top 5. Then it's Jonathan Rains, Cody Smart, Colin Denton, Tyler Markel, and Zachariah Hall has now cracked the top 10. So only 2 of our chase drivers running in the top 10 here for this restart, which will happen on lap 18 of 60. We have a number of drivers out of the race up to this point. Of course, Jesse Turner, we saw go to the garage area. We also had the 5 of Grayson Acevedo on pit road. J Kurtis out of the race, green flag back out. We'll document those drivers in just a moment here. Is going to have to see how Daleo does with the lap traffic, and he's going to clear it pretty easily. So Matthew Daleo very easily gets by. Nice camera angle there, a sweeping look at the field. Oh, contact! Oh, John Andrews nearly lost it. John Andrews nearly lost it there. Got into, I think it was N Guenther and K Shearer, and somehow, some way, they did not wreck. Andrews is a lap down machine, but they're splitting him 3 wide. Whoa, K Shearer, Jonathan Rain, some contact, and we're under caution. We're under caution again, 3rd time tonight. J Finguy's on pit road. Acevedo you saw still there on pit lane. There was another car I just saw in the pit road as well. Could not tell who it was. Oh, that was Benny Watson, the points leader, involved in something. Well, it only takes one race to blow the point standings wide open, and this may have been that race. Benny Watson came into this race 23 points over his next competition of driver, that being Mitchell Carter, and it looks like he's taken his car behind the wall. Oh boy. Well, 3rd caution of the evening. We are now a third of the way through this race. Let's take a look and see what happened. Now this one starts with the 20 of J Finguy and the 90 of Julio Cesar. And Finguy just kind of runs Cesar up the racetrack, up and into the wall, end over end, flipping and barrel rolling down the front straightaway. Flagman gets a perfect view of this. Oh man, Mike Becker, Joseph Romero involved. Oh, Romero hit that inside wall pretty hard. And then there's where Benny Watson gets a piece of it. And then Cesar gets another piece right there. Ooh, up ahead there, B Allan and A Navarro both just barely get around the rear decklet of the 98. J Qualls comes to a stop to avoid that, as did J Lopes. But there you see the 89 of Benny Watson, a complete heap on the front straightaway after nailing the 20 of J Finguy, who at the time was flipping and barrel rolling. And that's what puts out the caution for the 3rd time here tonight, and has taken out our points leader coming into tonight's race. Well, 1 to go signal's been given again. Matthew Daleo, I'll tell you what, he fought his way to the front, and he has not given it up since then. Matthew Daleo trying to pick up his 3rd win of the season, which would tie him for most of the season with Kermika Jazin, who currently sits at 3. The only driver with 3 wins. Let's document all the drivers that are out of the race up to this point. J Lopes has actually taken his car behind the wall as well. Lopes came into this race 9th in the point standings. Also Benny Watson out of the race. J Finguy also retiring from that incident. Also on pit road, 8 laps down. I don't know if he's returned to the track yet or not. Grayson Acevedo, but I think he's still there. And then other drivers out of the race, J Kurtis, Jesse Turner, J Jefferson, Eric Hayden, and Ryan George. As the green flag is back out, you've got William Brock and John Andrews both 1 lap down there. Andrews came into this race 3rd in the point standings. The good thing for him, though, even though he's trapped a lap down, is with all these wrecks that are happening and drivers retiring, that's more spots he's picking up on the racetrack. Got a car up ahead. That's Joseph Romero in the 87. Don't know if these leaders will catch him or not. Oh, they're stacked up from about 2nd place on back, though. N Guenther trying to get around the lap machine of William Brock. Meanwhile, he's got Cody Smart trying to reel him in for that position. Oh, this does not look good back here. John Andrews nearly gets turned off the nose of Richard Johnson, and the caution flag is out again. Yellow flag out for the 5th time here tonight, I believe. 4th or 5th, something like that. Doesn't matter, it's still a caution. Ooh, and they're catching up here to the tail end of the field. Saw a number of drivers on pit road again. And this time, one of them was Julio Cesar in the 90. Appears to be the only one. So I don't know if necessarily anybody else was involved in whatever brought out this yellow flag or not. So for that, we're going to step aside, take a look at yet another replay. Matthew Daleo got to be loving these caution flags. Every lap he leads under yellow is one last lap that he has someone breathing down his neck for the race lead. So let's take a look and see what happened. But it's under our latest caution, just coming towards the halfway point. Well, here's what brought out the caution, but we also got to mention as well, J Qualls blew up coming to this restart. We'll try and see if we can get some footage of it for you in just a moment, but here's what brought the yellow flag out. Looks like Davey Johnson just crowds Cody Hagen up into the wall. Goes sliding across the start-finish line. There you see the flagman in perfect position to see it. Throws the yellow flag right in front of chaser Nick Johnson, last week's winner at Indianapolis. He's trying to get on the brakes to not make any contact. Carmichael Jazin on the outside there. Brooke Allen as well. Zach Rogers, Jeremy Jones. Everybody just trying to avoid. And it looks like everybody got through that without any damage. I mean, Davey Johnson and Cody Hagen got some damage, but I don't think they got much. Now let's see if we can find some footage of what happened to James Qualls coming to the restart. This was coming to the green on our last restart. Qualls was at the tail end of the field. I think he had just been to pit road. So apparently they felt something was wrong even to that point. And I think it's just when we get ready to start going back to green or something like that. I don't know. We're under caution still here. I think we got the 1 to go signal. And right there at the start-finish line, the thing erupts. I mean, we've seen a number of drivers already have mechanical issues. Ryan George had a problem. Eric Hayden had a problem. And now it looks like James Qualls is the newest driver to encounter some kind of mechanical issues here tonight, which really hurts James Qualls coming into this race. Qualls came into this race 7th in the point standings, was just trying to finish out this race, gain points, and it's like he's going to be finishing this race behind the wall in the garage area as well. So a tough break there for the driver of the Castrol GTX Chevrolet Camaro, as looks like his night at Oswego comes to an early end as well. Green flag just came back out. We just missed a couple of corners. It just was waving there on lap 32 of 60. Matthew Daleo out in front. A little contact with him and William Brock. And John Andrews goes up into the wall right in front of Nick Guenther. They're trying to hang on to it, but that may bring out a caution. And it's going to. Yes, Andrews gets turned in front of the field. Connor Breton, I think, got a piece of that as well. Mitchell Carter back behind this. Andrews was trying to keep it straight. Just couldn't do it. Spun in front of the field. Caution flag waves once again as Daleo leads us back to the yellow flag. We just cannot seem to avoid the caution flags here tonight at Oswego. Still a long ways to go, but would love to see these drivers settle into a long green flag run and see pretty much what they've got. We're not getting that opportunity, at least not at the moment. It's like Connor Breton's coming to pit road. A lot of damage on the 17's left side. Breton came into this race 10th in the point standings. And it looks like he's going to pull into his pit stall. We'll see if they're going to try and get that car repaired. Looks like they're going to. So Breton going to try and get back out there. But Matthew Daleo again out in front. Let's quickly take a look and see what happened this time. This was back involving drivers that were running inside the top 10, including Nick Guenther. And here it was. John Andrews just trying to get out of everybody's way, I think. Gets up there into Nick Guenther. Now at this point, there's no caution. They're trying to see. I think Nick's trying to get off the 44 so he can get turned around. And then right there, when Markel gets into the back of Andrews and gives him a shot, that turns the 44 all the way around. And that is when they had to throw the yellow flag. Watch back here. Oh boy, A Stoudimere Jr. actually sideswiped Connor Breton pretty hard in the left side. That's where Breton got involved. Mitchell Carter doing a good job just slowing up and letting everybody by. Of course, Carter comes in 2nd in the point stands, and we know the points leader is out of this race, Benny Watson. So Mitchell Carter just trying to pick up spots and try and take the points lead into next week at Lime Rock. But that's what put us under the caution for, I don't know, the 6th time tonight, 5th time, 6th time, something like that. Whatever the case, under the yellow flag one more time. Let's go back for yet another restart, and this time we'll get there in time for the green. Well, 1 to green signal. Julio Cesar and Joseph Romero, they've been making multiple pit stops during the course of this. John Andrews nowhere to be seen right now in the 44. That is because the 44 car, I believe, is still on pit road. Oh, no, there he is. He's now come off pit road. Connor Breton, though, has taken his car back behind the wall. So that means that at this point we have 5 chasers behind the wall. Breton, Qualls, Lopez, Watson, and Kurtis of our 12 chase drivers. Julio Cesar is 2 laps down. Joseph Romero is 20, or where is Romero? Romero's still actually on the lead lap, surprisingly enough. As we go back, green flag racing, let's update where all our chasers are restarting. Daleo is the leader. Zachariah Hall is in 4th. And you gotta go quite a ways down before you find our next chaser in Nick Johnson. He's 15th. Carmichael Jazz in 18th. Mitchell Carter in 20th. Brooke Allen 21st. Is there some contact there between Cody Smart in the lap machine of William Brock. They settle it out. And then John Andrews is a lap down in 28th, and we already documented the other drivers, Qualls and Kurtis and Watson, Breton, and Lopez all out of the race. Whoa! They're getting awfully tight back there around John Andrews again. That's Caitlin Tsang and Richard Johnson, Colin Denton all trying to get around. I think they were successful in doing so, but barely. Colin Denton still on that inside line, 3 wide with Tsang. Oh, don't pinch. Oh, he pinched again, and there goes Denton into the wall. Denton spins right up into Richard Johnson. And that's going to bring out a caution flag, no doubt. Oh, they could have made it work, and they didn't. Zach Rogers is on pit road. And Matthew Daleo leads us back to yet another caution flag. Cody Smart was trying to catch him, and might have, but caution flag rears its ugly head again. There's Zach Rogers. A lot of front-end damage on the Ream Chevrolet. Don't know what he necessarily got involved in. We'll try and find out. And looks like he's going to fall a lap down to the leaders as a result. But Colin Denton was en route to a good run, as was Richard Johnson, and just looked like Colin Denton thought he was clear, and he wasn't, at least from watching in live action. We'll get a more in-depth look as we'll take a look at a replay. We're under caution again, and we're getting close to 15 laps to go. Well, this didn't bring out the caution, but this is how Zach Rogers got his damage, battling here with Kermika Jazin. And that's another chaser there in the 7 car getting involved in something as he goes up on 2 wheels, and Rogers noses it into the outside retaining wall as well. Let's see what actually brought out the caution flag now, involving Colin Denton and Richard Johnson. Now watch it right here off this corner. Right there, rubbing fenders with Caitlin Tsang. Tsang has Richard Johnson to her outside. Now watch right here. Watch Colin Denton. I think he thought he was clear. He's going to move up right there. And, yep, he was not clear on the 07. Caitlin Tsang going to hook him in the right rear, turns him up the racetrack, and Richard Johnson just unfortunately stuck on that outside line. Nowhere for him to go as the 1 car slides up into the turn and collects him right there into the outside retaining wall, and I believe that actually toasted the engine on the 93. So the pole sitter, who was trying to at least keep his car in the top 15, looks like he's going to be finishing this race behind the wall. Colin Denton, not certain how much damage that car sustained as well, and that's what brought out the caution. Both drivers at the time running just outside of the top 10. We just got back green flag racing again on lap 48 of 60, and they're going to go 3 wide back there. That's Jonathan Zoerlein to the inside of the lap machine of John Andrews. Got a couple more lap machines there as well. William Brock in the 3, Zach Rogers in the 2. And they're all trying to get around him. It's Cody Smart. You see they're trying to get around William Brock, and it looks like he will succeed in doing so. Oh, look out. Car right there in Julio Cesar merging back onto the racetrack, and that just killed all the momentum of Cody Smart. And he's going to spin Jonathan Rains around off his nose. Rains is around. He saves it, though. He does a 180 loop, and he keeps it going. Everybody slows up to allow Rains to reel it back in. But the caution's out again, and boy, Rains stuck it in there. Cody Smart blocked him, and then that's when Rains went around. So the caution out again with less than 10 to go. I have a feeling the next caution would end the race, but I'm not certain. We had more drivers out of the race, that being Richard Johnson. So add him to the list of drivers behind the wall. Let's take a look again at what happened this time. Again, another incident right up at the front of the field. Yeah, watch this right here. Rains in the middle, and Cody Smart just cuts it right down towards the bottom, right into the 46, and then Rains kind of goes off the nose of Jonathan Zoerlein. And watch everybody being able to avoid this. There's a wonder we didn't have someone T-bone him. Right there, he mashed the throttle, gets back going. A couple of cars with some damage there had kind of stacked up. Nick Johnson, Chris Dollerton, and Kermika Jazin, but for the most part, that could have been a lot worse than it was. Basically a single car loop around and really nobody else involved. That's a miracle we had something like that happen there off of turn 4. Alright, so more than likely, next flag will end this race, whether it be the caution flag or the white flag. And with it being less than 10 to go, it will be a single file restart as well. No lap machines on the bottom for drivers to have to deal with. However, there is a lap machine in William Brock between first place Matthew Daleo and second place Cody Smart. For the restart, it's going to be Daleo and Smart 1-2. Third place is Zachariah Hall, so he's all of a sudden worked his way up here. Hall came into this race fourth in the point stand, so he's going to leave in a really good spot in the points. K Tsang is in fourth. Fifth is K Shearer. Sixth is P Minnick. We haven't talked about him all night. Seventh place is Seth Cole. Davey Johnson, who got involved in an earlier wreck, is now up to eighth. N Guenther, who was also involved in an earlier wreck, he's in ninth. And Nick Johnson, last week's winner, has now cracked the top 10. Chris Dollerton's 11th. Carmichael Jasmine, is in 12th. Jonathan Raid's 13th. Brooke Allen 14th. 15th. Cody Hagen. Mitchell Carter is 16th. Jeremy Jones in 17th. Colin Denton, A Navarro, and A Stoudimere Jr. complete your top 20. And it's T Markel and Mike Becker. That's your 21st and 22nd. And those are the drivers that are on the lead lap. Still running a lap down are Zach Rogers, John Andrews. Jonathan Zoerlein's actually a lap down now as well. Zach Rogers, Joseph Romero, and Julio Cesar. Is the green flag back out. Now let's see if maybe, just maybe, we can finish this race under green flag conditions. There's Cody Smart going to the inside on William Brock. And no, Smart just got dumped by William Brock. End over end, Johnson's involved, Minnick is involved, and that's going to end this race. Cody Smart trying to get by William Brock so that way he could get up there and try and take the lead away from Matthew Daleo. And he just got flat out wrecked by William Brock. Brock not willing to give room for the 22 to get by, and that's going to end this race. This race will end more than likely under caution. I don't see us getting back green unless by some miracle we're able to have a one-lap shootout, but even then I don't know if that's going to be the case. Cody Smart trying to pick up his first win of the season. I mean, William Brock has been fighting up there at the front all night long. I mean, but when it comes down to the fact that you're not going to be in the hunt for the win, why not let the leaders go at it? And Brock could have backed out of that. Davey Johnson was running in 8th, and he ended up making contact there with the upside down 22. He's now out of the race. Nick Johnson's out of the race. He got involved in that. He was running in 12th at the time. Cody Smart also out of the race. So 3 drivers going behind the wall after that incident. We're not going to go back and look at a replay. We're going to stick here live to see if we will get back green or not. Next time they hit the stripe, it's 2 to go. And I assume that we would have to have the lights go out then in order for us to actually go back green. Let's see what they're going to do here. Are they actually going to have us go back green for one lap shootout? And the lights remain on, which means that more than likely this race now is going to be ending under yellow, and Matthew Daleo will pick up his 3rd win of the season. Came into this race 11th out of the 12 chase drivers, and so this is a big shot in the arm for this team that's been struggling. They picked up wins at the first 2 races of the season, Daytona and Rockingham, UK. Since then, they've been winless, and now finally, in the 4th chase race, they're going to pick up their 3rd win of the season, which is going to tie them with Carmichael Jasmine for most wins this season at 3. And it looks like, according to what it's showing here on the monitor, 3 chasers will finish in the top 10. How about Carmichael Jasmine finishing the night out in the 6th position in that 7 car? And Zachariah Hall, going to be close. I don't know if he necessarily will, but he's going to be close to maybe taking the points lead over heading into next week at Lime Rock. Brooke Allen's going to finish in 12th. Mitchell Carter will finish 18th. And that's the last of the drivers that are chase drivers to finish on the lead lap. What did I count? 5 drivers in total. White flag was just displayed. Actually, no, that was actually the checkered flag that was just displayed for Matthew Daleo. And so he will pick up the win here tonight at Oswego. Matthew Daleo, his 3rd win of the season. and a well-needed win for that team. How about the 78 car? Got up there to the front and never looked back, albeit he had help from a lot of cautions and some lap traffic, but he had to fight his way up there to the front, that's for sure. And Daleo able to do it here tonight. Take a look at our official full results, as I believe they are now official. Indeed they are. Matthew Daleo with the win. K Shearer, I think this is the second or third time that 14 car is finished in the second position. Third will be Seth Cole. Chris Dollerton, solid run in fourth. And how about a comeback for N Guenther? He was running up inside the top 10 when he got involved in an incident earlier on involving a lap machine, and he's able to battle back for a solid run of fifth. Carmichael Jazz in sixth. Jonathan Rains actually brought out our last caution. Well, actually, no, he brought out our next to last caution. Still manages to finish in seventh. Zachariah Hall in eighth. Ninth place for K Tsang, and Cody Hagen completes the top 10. Angel Navarro ran near the back for most of the race, finishes 11th. Brooke Allen 12th. Colin Denton and A Stoudimere Jr. and Mike Becker complete your top 15. Tyler Marco was the last car to finish on the lead lap. For the rest of your chasers, Mitchell Carter finished a lap down in 18th. John Andrews a lap down in 21st. Nick Johnson finished out of the race in 26th place, and then this is where it gets very interesting. Connor Breton out of the race in 30th. Mechanical problem header for J Qualls, 31st. Jordan Lopez out of the race, 32nd. Points leader coming in this race, Benny Watson out of the race in 34th, and DJ Kurtis out of the race in the 36th position. They don't show 40th place, but 40th place was Ryan George, who had its engine expire before even taking the green flag. Did not even cross the line to start this race. So Matthew Daleo, where does this win put him in the chase points? And what do the chase points even look like now? The points leader ends up wrecking out of the race, finishes way down in the running order. A lot of drivers peppered all over through this finishing results, and the driver who came in 11th of the 12 chase drivers wins the race. I think we can definitely say we're going to have a point shakeup heading into next week at Lime Rock. But thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race from Oswego. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. We showed you your full finishing results. Up next are your overall point standings and chase points headed into our road course race at Lime Rock in Lime Rock, Connecticut. Next up, though, it's going to be our Hershey's Cup Series race here from Oswego, our first race of our second round of 3 race elimination. Hope that you will tune in for that, as we will see you next time here on the Industry Sports Channel, Offline Racing at its best.